Hello, pilots, and welcome back to Flight Academy. It's time for Season 2. This series is brought to you by Out of Arc Gaming, and as always, my name is Phil. 11 players go head-to-head in a round-robin single-ship tournament to find out who is the ace pilot. The format rules are in the description below, but continuing to join me for round 6, we have...
It's Jamie with you once again, Phil.
Hey, Jamie, welcome back. We have another Star Viper on the table, seeing if it can do all of the tricks that we saw last time, but it's a different flavour Star Viper, and it's a very different prospect that it is up against this time. So it's going to be a tough one, I think. On that subject, did you want to let us know what Madbots has brought to the table?
So Madbots, we've got the classic X-Wing pilot Wedge. Maybe not the classic ship on the table, but the classic pilot. And Wedges are running with outmaneuver, plasma torpedoes, R4 astromech, shield upgrade, and the S-foils.
Yeah, it's not quite the classic ship. He seems to have brought some form of hat.
Slightly modified X-Wing.
For some reason. I mean, surely that's going to affect maneuverability, his engines. Yeah. I mean, it's just odd. It's what Madbots has been doing since he randomly purchased some Scum with a broken TIE fighter in it. So
why not? Yeah.
But going up against Madbots, we have Conor, and he is flying the other Star Viper in this series. He has Guri, and Guri is outfitted with outmaneuver and prime thrusters, and that's it.
Yeah. Nice and lightweight compared to some of the other lists, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, in comparison, I don't think any other ship has as few upgrades as Guri does, but Guri is one of the more expensive base pilots, so it kind of makes sense. So,
and it's the more traditional Guri loadout. I mean, a lot of these pilots, a lot of us are upgrading our ships, how we normally wouldn't, upgrade them. But I think that Guri's maybe fairly common, it's particularly with outmaneuver, I think, in standard games.
Yeah, I think it's a lighter Guri than normal because most Guri builds end up creeping into the 80-point range, and obviously we've limited this at 75, so you'd normally expect to see Virago on there and maybe another modification, so you just can't fit that on, which makes sense. And that's a first exchange there, and we've already lost a shield on Guri.
I was quickly into it. That's 3 hard from Madbots into the centre. I wasn't really expecting that. Really, really aggressive sort of first pass through the obstacles.
Yeah, it's just going straight in there. And you know what? When you've got a ship like Wedge, with his ability, why not? It can really work, and especially if you do manage to catch them out of arc and get outmaneuvered. This is the battle of the outmaneuvers, but Wedges is doubled down, and he left Guri with 1 of 8 dice there. So
just brutal.
And yeah, they're just getting right in each other's faces. This is
and tricky for Conor because he wants to use that barrel to reposition, but with Wedge being that initiative 6, which is maybe the only initiative 6. We have 2. We have Poe Dameron as well. Poe. Connor's going to have a hard time staying out of Wedge's arc.
Yeah. Oh, and I'll tell you what, it was lucky for Conor that Wedge did not have any tokens there to modify, so that 1 dice he got managed to get paint and managed to not lose more health. But do we see the shenanigans coming in now?
Here we go.
Does he boost barrel roll? Nice. Something we haven't seen very often is them actually linking their barrel rolls or boosts into a target lock or focus/calculate. Again, I think at the moment, those Star Vipers only seem to want to stress themselves when they're doing their sloops at the moment. They haven't wanted to stress themselves in any other way, which I get. It makes a lot of sense. And you want to keep your maneuverability up as much as
Yeah,
possible.
it's just such a knife fight, isn't it? Like you want to turn around or you want to do like the hard ones. They're kind of the most like dominant sort of modes of transport that you want to get around this board because it's so tight and those rocks how they're packed.
Yeah, and that was the most green dice I've seen Conor roll this game. So having that obstruction and not outmaneuver on, unfortunately, you finally got a shot back, and Wedge just went, "No, thank you. I don't like that. Here's how you roll of 8s." Oh, that's true. Yeah, I think that barrel's. I think you have to do that barrel. That is. I think what's a bit frustrating for Conor is he's in so close with Wedge right now. He needs to disengage. That's what he needs to do. He needs to get out of there.
Yeah, he's really relying on his green dice, I think, at the moment because it's just been relentless from Wedge so far.
Yeah, and unfortunately, relying on the green dice when you're up against Wedge is a bad idea because he's just taking them away. Mm-hmm. He's just like, nope, I'll have that green dice, thank you. I'll have that one as well. But just outside of range 1 there.
Not getting that focus, yeah.
Oh, that. If he'd have had that focus, that is.
Double eyes.
Oh, that is just brutal. Again, no focus to modify. Come on, Madbots, throw him a bone. Oh, Guri is getting a bit schooled here. It is
and it's such a hard position to come back from. 1 health versus 7.
Yeah.
1-on-1, nowhere to go. You've got to be aggressive because you're not going to get anything from this position for the next 12 minutes. How would you go around and go and take 7 health off your opponent before you die? Is just.
Yeah. And I think the trickiest thing here for Conor as well is that he's doing these sloops, and they are great sloops. Unfortunately, he's doing them at a point where Wedge can just do a red maneuver as well.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not really getting that advantage on there. And there we go, another red maneuver. So there's the K turn. So Wedge is keeping that gun on again.
Yep.
So it's non-stop, unfortunately.
And Conor's not got too many options for next turn either if he does survive this barrage.
He could survive. He doesn't survive.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Oof.
Wedge is just nasty sometimes.
Put on a show there, didn't he?
Yeah. I mean, you kind of gotta question a man that's going to bring Wedge to a game like this, but no, it's good. I mean, it's X-Wing, so we have an X-Wing. Wedge is a really good strong pilot for this. His ability, 1-on-1, it is. I don't blame Madbots for doing that. Actually, I mean, it's a really good solid ship, and he's not been able to run away with it, so that's fine. So we'll let him off there. But well flown there, Madbots. Conor, that was just incredibly unfortunate there, I'm afraid, buddy.
Yeah, it didn't do too much fun. I don't think Conor there just got wedged.
Yeah, he just got wedged into a hole. But Jamie, thank you very much for joining us for that one.
Thanks again, Phil. Cheers.
And guys, don't forget, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Link for the Patreon is in the description below, and we will see you next time for Game 4.